what, but you rock now!
YouTuber Showdown
Season 3.
All right, let's fight.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. We are moving into the portion of nursing home brawls, because these are the important parts where we got to set it up with the not the title match, but what do you call it? What's the match?
It's the preliminary bout.
The preliminary bout.
There you go.
So nursing home brawls. Here we go, folks. And so our contestants are, if I can do, I'm trying to multitask here. Here we go. Here we go. We have Mr. Lee versus Ivan. Mr. Lee is 95, but he looks like he's really probably only like 40. He weighs 141 pounds. He's limber. He has tooth decay. But Ivan, he's Russian, and but he has got poor circulation. So we don't know how this is gonna fare. And so I gotta get that timer ready here. Sorry.
You can put the picture back up too.
Well, we'll put it up in a second. I just gotta get this ready. Okay. Sorry. Timers.
I have a timer. How much do you want?
Okay. I guess you could use the timer. Well, 45 seconds. Okay. So
I got it ready to go.
Perfect.
Tell me when to start.
Okay, so we can all remember that Charles and Lawrence, they've moved into the next bracket. Now we're just waiting for Mr. Lee and Ivan and the next contestants next week. So we got Mr. Lee and Ivan. Now you guys have 45 seconds to say how the fight will go. And then after you say how the fight goes, you say who wins. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
So why don't we start with Punk Waddle today, and he can begin. Go.
All right, you got Mr. Lee in one corner, and you got Ivan in the other. Now, some would assume that, well, you could take the tropes and say that Mr. Lee is probably some karate master, and then Ivan is probably, had some prison brawls in his day, right? Had to break out of some Russian prison, right? I saw this on G Gundam once. Anyway, so I think Mr. Lee will use the fact that people think he knows karate to intimidate them.
10 seconds.
And he may not even use karate, but he also had a laundromat, and he knows how to whip a towel around.
Okay.
And yeah, he gets Ivan by surprise, ties him up, and goes back to eating dinner.
Ivan ties him up. That's how this
Mr.
went.
Lee. Yeah, Mr. Lee wins.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
How does Mr. Lee win if Ivan ties
You said
him up?
Ivan tied him up, and now Mr. Lee's winning?
No, Mr. Lee tied up Ivan.
Oh man, okay, we don't even know.
This
We
is what
don't
happens
know.
when you talk over me while I'm trying to be creative. I say the wrong thing.
Okay, Mrs. Flu, your turn.
All right, so you've got Mr. Lee here, and he looks like, he could have been really good friends with, I don't know, maybe he is some relative of another Lee, Bruce, that,
Okay.
it just runs in the family. They know how to manage things when they happen. Then you've got Ivan here, who, God love him, he looks like a get off my lawn kind of guy, but, those guys never really get up off their chair to get people off their lawns. They just kind of sit there. And honestly, who knows where he sends, and he looks like he would be in a really, really old, raggedy recliner that is made of other things. So honestly, he doesn't get up and move. Mr. Lee's got all of the game. Mr. Lee every day.
Okay, that didn't even make sense, because clearly Ivan's walking.
Well, yeah, he's walking here, but he's
whatever.
look
All right.
He does have a cane.
He had to get out of his
Wait,
chair.
Mrs. Flu, you were just being illogical. All right, enough of being a woman. We are now going to go to Vash. And go, Vash.
All right, I think this is an interesting bout right here. Okay, Mr. Lee, I think he's gonna bide his time. I think he's gonna go ahead and be patient. He's gonna use a little bit of that ancient martial art kind of thing going on right there. But Ivan, I think he's gonna go in, fists ablazing right there. I think he's got the weight advantage right there. I think I'm gonna go with Ivan. I think that kind of old school rage might actually see him win this bout right here. However, let's not go ahead and sleep on Mr. Lee. Dude's stone cold for a reason. So there you go.
All right. So
Pretty good. 5 seconds.
Sweet.
yeah, that was
With time to spare.
It was
Not
time
spare.
to spare. Okay.
Yeah, my
It's
timer's
just awkward.
off.
It's just awkward. There was no timer that went off, so now we're feeling complete. All right,
Here.
Marvin.
All right. Don't. Our friend Mr. Lee is sitting in
Go.
the park playing chess, okay? Meanwhile, Ivan is having a terrible day. He's thinking about the fatherland, and he is not happy about the way things turned out for the USSR. Seeing Mr. Lee there is only a reminder that the Chinese are still currently enjoying communism, and so in a fit of rage, he attacks. But Mr. Lee, however, is fully aware of his surroundings, having studied martial arts since he was a very small child. Mr. Lee dodges and ducks and avoids, but Ivan is a Russian bear, and he's coming right at him, right? And he's swinging that club of his, and he's knocking him down, and he's got Mr. Lee by the throat. However, Mr. Lee reaches out and hits Ivan in the shoulder, right at the pressure point, and thanks to Ivan's poor circulation, the arm goes numb. Now, Ivan only has one arm left. He grabs Mr. Lee by the throat, but Mr. Lee's tooth decay comes into play here. One of his teeth breaks off in his mouth, and he spits it back into Ivan's face. Ivan falls over. Mr. Lee wins.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
That
putting
was-
together a wrestling match, folks.
That really was.
I think you should have gone first.
Yeah,
The
talk about-
Art of War.
He set the stage.
Also,
there,
it's
guys.
a great book.
Mr. Lee,
Excellent.
see? You got to watch out for that guy. For sure.
You do. It's always the quiet ones.
So did all of you guys choose Mr. Lee?
I think we did.
I do.
Oh,
I got my money on
Ivan
Ivan.
is not
Just,
going to win that match. There was no scenario in life where that was going to happen.
I will say, even though it's pretty much for Mr. Lee, I will give, since I panicked earlier, I will say that Ivan looks a lot like the old dude in Home Alone who freaked out the child, but then
Ah,
turned
the
out to
shovel
stop him
slayer.
gently. Yeah, shovel guy. But he might be past the shovel prime.
Yeah. A Jumbo
Okay.
says Ivan can summon the power of vodka. Another reason he would not.
That
win,
is
because
true. I mean, as we
So
all
much
know,
vodka, he'd just be flat on the ground.
as we all know, the Russian character in the original Mike Tyson's Punch Out on the NES system was Soda Popinski, originally called Vodka Drunkinski, and that was his whole thing, was that he was so drunk that you couldn't feel it when he punched you, which would have been my critical drinker argument last week, by the way, if I had been able to
That's
make
a,
it.
Isn't the
actual fair.
Baba Yaga John Wick Russian? There you go, right there.
Is John Wick Russian, or were those mobsters just Russian?
I thought he was taken in by Russians, right? And-
Maybe. Does that make him an honorary Russian?
Maybe.
I
Isn't
don't
the
know.
new Monkey Something Man supposed to be a John Wick-ish kind of movie?
well, there we go.
Yeah.
I feel like that
Alright.
settles it. So Mr. Lee
Wins.
He wins. So congratulations, Mr. Lee, on your nursing home victory.
He also has look at his countenance. He was just
Oh,
smiling. There's something about wisdom and joy, while Ivan looks just like he's mad at the world and he's just waiting for it to stop.
There is a gentle fury behind those eyes, my friend.
Mr. Lee has something to live for.
He's fully at peace with his surroundings and knows everything going on at all times. He can do the Mr. Miyagi thing where he caught the fly with the chopsticks.
Very zen. Very zen. I like it.
Yeah.
I'd like to have dinner with him someday. I wish he was a real person. I wanna see the
Honestly,
guy rendering.
given where he probably lives, you'd be dinner punk.
That hurts. That hurts
Okay.
a lot.
Well, it would hurt a lot more if you were dinner.
Hey there! So what you just watched was a portion of our live show that happens on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. Apparently you were too lazy to be there that time, but maybe you'll be there next time. Remember, Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern.